Hello there, welcome to my views and news. Well, it seems that PM Abiy's government has lost another regional ally. Eritrea criticized, Somalia criticized, Djibouti, we heard, supported yesterday. Ethiopian government's position regarding need for having access to the Red Sea. But today, a big statement came from Djibouti's Minister of Economy. What did he say? And Djibouti President's special advisor spoke again. He clarified. Is it a well thought out policy of Ethiopian government that it wants to put pressure upon all the countries which have coastlines? Or Ethiopian government, Ethiopian foreign affairs team has no policy, and basically Ethiopia is frustrating its allies. Let's start from the statement of Ethiopian PM Abiy around a week ago. He called for talks with the countries which have coasts. He said that Ethiopia has every right, natural rights to the sea. Eritrea criticized Ethiopia with a brief statement. Eritrea dismissed Ethiopian call for talks. Somalia followed suit, saying Somalia's territorial integrity, sovereignty was not up for discussions. Djibouti showed flexibility yesterday. But then came a statement from Djibouti today. Alexis Mohammed, senior advisor to Djibouti's President Ismail Omar, spoke today with Bloomberg, and he appreciated long and strong Ethiopia-Djibouti friendly relations. At the same time, he said that Ethiopia should know that Djibouti is a sovereign country, and therefore its territorial integrity is not questionable neither today nor tomorrow. Very strong words used by Alexis Mohammed. But importantly, big criticism came from Djibouti's Minister of Economy. Who is he? His name is Ilyas Mohammed Dawale. He is very close to Ismail Omar because he is Minister of Economy, and he is the one who is in charge of Ethiopia-Djibouti relations regarding Ethiopian use of Djibouti port for its imports, exports. He responded to a documentary by Ethiopian state media. EBC aired a documentary 4 days ago about Ethiopian efforts to gain access to the Red Sea. That documentary was a declaration of war against all the countries, all Ethiopian neighbors which have coastlines. The presenter of the documentary states that PM Abiy's recent speech is meant to get justice, that Ethiopia wants to correct historical wrongs. It has every right to pursue historical justice. And that long coastline, which is just a few kilometers away from Ethiopia, is occupied. She used the word occupied, is occupied by 3 countries. Without naming, I think she mentioned Sudan, Eritrea, Djibouti, and Somalia too. And she said that Ethiopia has been paying billions of dollars to Djibouti to use Djibouti's ports for imports and exports, and that Ethiopia cannot use its potential because of constraints. So Ethiopia needs access to the Red Sea. That is what Ethiopian natural right is. So the documentary was directed at all the neighboring countries. It means that what PM Abiy said a week ago, it wasn't his personal opinion. It was a well thought out presentation. Ethiopia is ready to take on all the countries for securing a port. It is not just about Eritrea, though Eritrea is the first and foremost target of Ethiopian campaign for having a port. And the presenter of the documentary of the EBC clearly said that Ethiopia does not just need access to port but complete control of the port so that it can have a navy too. That is what we said, that we must differentiate between access to port and total rights on a port, which Ethiopia wants. Ethiopia wants a corridor, complete rights on the corridor and a port and coast. It wants all the area. It wants to control all the area, to which no neighboring country is agreeing. Statements from Eritrea, Somalia, and now Djibouti. Ilyas Muhammad Dawale, Minister of Economy of Djibouti, lashed out at EBC. He said that he had watched EBC documentary and he had analyzed and read papers of some Ethiopian analysts about access to the Red Sea. And he said he was disappointed and offended. He said the false figures used by EBC presenter show that he said that the presenter used false figures. Presenter said that Ethiopia has been paying billions of dollars to Djibouti. And he tried to prove by sharing some details that Djibouti is not receiving billions of dollars from Ethiopia. He said that major cost of Ethiopian imports, exports is on transportation. Transportation is in the hands of Ethiopian transport companies. Firstly. Secondly, he said that the cost of using port for Djibouti's importers is more than Ethiopia. Djibouti's importers pay 4 times more than Ethiopia pays. And thirdly, he talked about the infrastructure, the corridor from Djibouti port to Ethiopia, that the corridor, the road infrastructure is being destroyed because of overloaded vehicles. It is not being properly maintained. And lastly, he attributed Ethiopian double-digit economic growth to Djibouti's port. Because of Djibouti's port, Ethiopia managed to prosper and it progressed. It was very strong piece of criticism from Ilyas Muhammad Dawale against Ethiopian government. And he seems to be saying that whatever Ethiopia has gained in terms of economic progress, it is because of Djibouti port, and that the country should work together instead of giving media statements. So it's now very clear that PM Abiy's government has lost another ally, that is Djibouti. And Djibouti, Eritrea are not allies, by the way. Djibouti, Eritrea are not on good terms. There are several issues, border issues for years. Djibouti, Somalia on good terms. But on this issue, we're seeing that all the countries are uniting. Djibouti, Somalia, Eritrea, and Sudan as well, because Sudan is being controlled to large parts by military, especially the coastal areas are under the control of Sudanese military. So the military led by Al-Burhan is aligned with Isaias Afwerki. So Sudan, Eritrea, Djibouti, Somalia, all are going to join hands, rejecting Ethiopian offer of talks. What will Ethiopia do? Well, we can discuss that in coming videos. What will Ethiopia do? But now what I have understood is that it is a well thought out policy of Ethiopian government, that it is ready to fight a multi-front war
When I say war, it does not mean that there is going to be a war. By war, I mean diplomatic war, bilateral tensions. No war is coming between Ethiopia and Djibouti, Ethiopia and Somalia, Ethiopia and Eritrea too maybe, Ethiopia and Sudan. We're going to see regional tensions, and Ethiopia is fully prepared, it seems. What does Ethiopia have up its sleeves? How will it counter this regional alliance? How will it gain access to the port? While all are opposing the case made by Ethiopian PM. That we'll discuss in coming videos. But I wanted to correct, because yesterday I reported that Djibouti was ready to give access to Ethiopia, to the sea. But today Djibouti changed its position. New statement, and Minister of Economy specifically spoke, because the neighboring countries are feeling threatened. That Ethiopia wants to take their ports by force. It seems Ethiopia tried other options. Now frustrated, it wants to use each and every means at disposal to gain access to the sea. Let's see how things unfold. But coming weeks and months are very crucial for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa. Thank you for watching.